Here we go. We are going to look at our weekly review for April 20th through 24th. As always, let's go ahead and start with the economic calendar, which is very light this week. I don't think there's anything major. You have a little yellow on Tuesday. Obviously, jolts on Thursday, as always. A little yellow on Friday during AM. Other than that, it should be good. Outside of the economic calendar, we do have things going on in the world, of course, as we've had all year. So just something to be aware of. It's not necessarily moving based on the typical factors. You have to be a little bit clued into what's going on in the world. Not that I would weigh that too heavily. I would still rely on the chart to tell you what's happening, and just improve your skills that way. At the moment, if you were in my stream on Friday, you would know that we were targeting AM lows. We took a short, happened to get a really good position. We had that. The stop was somewhere around there. We really wanted that. We took half off at the midpoint. I don't really edit my videos, but I would love to add the picture in if I did. We were targeting the midpoint. We got that. We had 15 micros on. And we left 5 running, ended up closing them around here. And, it's basically a review of Friday. We did have this too. Ended up getting a break even there because I was holding for true day. Is what it is. Got stopped out twice in here with micros. Is what it is. I was really looking for the pullback. Didn't offer it. Now, come Saturday, more war nonsense. We're going to open up about 250 points down, and that would have been the trade, right? So it is what it is. First target for the week immediately is going to be TGIF, which is very simple model where you need Monday and Thursday to be in the same direction, which obviously they were. Here's Monday up and Thursday was up. What you do is you draw a fib. I believe it's from the top to here, and you're going to do the 0.8, and that is where you're marking TGIF. So it's a little bit further down. And very simple, that is what you're looking for on Friday, hence the name TGIF. If it doesn't happen Friday, almost always it will happen Monday, okay? Almost always it will happen Monday. Even in a weird week, like this past week, it happened exactly the same. We were looking for it on Friday, ended up happening Sunday open right away. Dropped right to it. Swept this out, and we pumped all week, obviously. So I would say ES was a bit cleaner this week. But again, we will be looking for TGIF right away at the open. And that will be my first target for the week. If we're opening 250 points down, we don't have that far to go for TGIF. In a perfect world, it opens. We reject either the 2.5 to TGIF, or we reject the 0.5 to TGIF. I would not like to see many candles close, really any candles close, but many candles close above the 0.5, because I would like to see some pullback this week, given the given the situation that we see unfolding over the weekend. Now, should we come back, tap TGIF, and our 4-hour closes within this is a better way to draw it. It's possible that Monday remains rather flat. Maybe Tuesday comes up, makes the high of the week, as we'd like to see in a bearish scenario. And then we see some more retracement. I'm hesitant to get too attached to a bias in these conditions, because overall I am bullish to this 1.5 projection and this 2 projection for the rest of the year. I don't know how quickly that's going to occur, but I'm pretty confident that we will be going to the 1.5 during this year. If we look at the weekly, we've seen 3 rather large weeks. This first one, not so much. It's more of just a bounce. That was very clean. We were predicting that. But these last 2 weeks, especially this last week, a lot of range on there. Okay, a lot of range on there. And we went to all-time highs, of course, and we pumped through it. Closed towards the high of the week. Whoops. Now, we will, the reason I'm on the weekly is we will be making a gap, surely. I do not foresee this week coming back to here and closing that off entirely. If it does, we need to be very cognizant of this being potential manipulation. I don't think that that's the case, but it is always a possibility. So we have TGIF as the major target. I think that that will get run rather quickly. We have the low of Thursday to be a sell side where we can sort of work back into these daily gaps. We have 2 of them sitting right here. 2 of them connected. And then this would be the absolute lowest I would expect this week to trade to, which would be a very large week. Again, that would leave a tiny weekly gap. I don't see that happening, but this is a volume imbalance on the daily. And those are strong draws, but that's quite a bit down there. That would be moving back down, 4.5%. It could wick into there. I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibilities, but really it's TGIF for me, and this sell side is a major target. The final realistic target that I would have is the midpoint of this daily gap. And after that gets taken, I don't think that it would be wise to continue to hunt shorts. I think that it could short further, but I just don't think that that necessarily needs to be forced. If we get a trade back down to here on the daily and we get a candle closure above the midpoint, I'm open to longing again. I do think that the longs will be a little bit flatter this week. I think it needs to breathe a little bit. Maybe a settlement inside of one of these dailies would be nice. We create a weekly gap and we push out of the weekly gap. That would be best case scenario, in my opinion, for cleanliness of the chart. Now, we can trade when it's not perfectly clean, but that is what I would love to see. We just experienced what I believe is the most rapid recovery in the stock market in history. I'm not 100% certain that that is purely data backed, but I believe we have never had a recovery quite as remarkable as that. Will it be sustained? I don't know. It looks that way. I do like 1.5 to be a target going forward. Obviously, this area in here was the tariff bounce, and that was sustained for quite a while. Not quite as vertical, but it was sustained. So anyway, that is basically a brief summary. Is I am looking for pullback. I'm looking for continuation of this drop. In a perfect world, it fills in some of the gap before going down, and that will provide some good entries. But we'll just have to see what happens when it opens, and we'll have to see how we're going to play it. We'll have to see where the shorts stop if it does continue short. But we do have sell sides down here. So these are things that I'm looking for to be taken out. Again, this would be Thursday low. That would be wonderful. That was a New York session low where it traded into the midpoint of this leg of expansion. So this week was clean in terms of pretty much every single bullish PD array, every single retracement got bought up immediately, and it ran higher. Like here, we have a bounce off OTE perfectly. Candles close above, only 2 wicks go below. and then it runs that next leg. So this is a great sell side to target. Anyway, there's tons of sell sides to target. I would personally be playing the stops tight and be open to being wrong, be open to chop, and do your best to navigate it. So anyway, enjoy. Any questions, let me know. We'll be doing the giveaways on Friday this week. It is our giveaway week. So if you're not in there already, make sure you take advantage of the potential to secure a Lucid Flex account or the value of a Lucid Flex account. Good luck. Good luck this week. Any questions, let me know.